Next up, I'd like to invite Comrade Dipsita Dhar. She is a PhD candidate at the Jawaharlal Nehru University, and recently she also contested the West Bengal elections and ran a very robust, a very spirited campaign in very, very difficult circumstances. I have known Comrade Dipsita as a fighter, as a militant for many years now, and I'm looking forward to hearing her. Thank you so much for joining us, Dipsita.
Thank you, comrades. Thank you so much. It was such a engaging conversation. I was following from the time Comrade Vijay Prashad has started speaking, and then this two young artists joined us in. And I think it was very interesting that today we are actually remembering defeat of a revolutionary project, a project which was not successful in its very literal meaning. But even after that, we are remembering it, we are celebrating it. And as Comrade Vijay Prasad has said, that every failure has given us some lesson. And today when I speak this, or today when I'm sitting in Kolkata, I'm sitting in West Bengal, where we just faced a defeat which was unprecedented. For the very first time after the West Bengal Assembly was constituted, this is the first time that the left does not have a single seat inside the Assembly. It's a moment of extreme sadness. It's a moment of grief. But even after that, we have learned from our defeat. We have understood that what went right and what went wrong, and the lesson of hope. The hope is that even after being defeated so brutally, even after not getting the people's support in the last election, our comrades, the comrades of CPIM, the comrades of SFI, DYFI, CIT, YDOA, from the very next day of the election, they're on ground. We know we are going through a pandemic situation. There is scarcity of oxygen. There is black marketing of hospital beds, nursing home beds, and the whole country is going through an extreme crisis situation. In that crisis situation, it's our comrades from Tamil Nadu to Kerala to West Bengal who are on the ground helping people. We have given this name to ourselves as Red Volunteer. There are news reports which are terming us as the guardian angel, but we are saying that no, Red Volunteer is our primary identity. We are going out to people, we are reaching out people, we are helping them as much as possible for us. So yes, there is a defeat. Yes, for the first time, there won't be a single member of the Communist Party or the left inside the Assembly of West Bengal. But even after that, the streets still belong to us. The people, when the people needs, it is the left, it is their cadre, it is the Red Volunteer who are going and reaching them. So even if there is a defeat, our hope is not lost. And I think that was the primary lesson that we have got from the Paris Commune. That even after a failed revolution, even after 72 days of relentless struggle, even after we could not sustain that dream, as Comrade said, that they reached the heaven, they touched the heaven, they have given us the glimpse of how our future would be. But even after that, it was an unsuccessful attempt. But all those unsuccessful attempts give us the seed for a better future, for a successful further more revolutions ahead. There are just couple of things I thought I'll mention. Maybe I'm not a very learned person to talk about Paris Commune, but when I was going through the books, there are a few things which I thought I could relate immediately, and I thought I'll share this with you. There was one thing that Marx wrote after the failed Paris Commune, that it's not only about seizing the power, it's not only about seizing the state, but you have to smash it, we have to break it. And every time I was reading the word smash and the word break, I was getting remembered of a very popular web series which was really popular among, at least in my generation, Game of Thrones, which was there in the Netflix, and also it was screened in HBO. So there is a favorite character of mine. Her name is Daenerys Stormborn Targaryen. She's a queen who lost her kingdom. Then she was forcefully married to people who you can say who are not civilized enough. It's more like a tribe, the tribe which does not have a very structured hierarchy, a tribe where the leadership does not pass with the understanding of ancestral property or something. But whoever has the more power, whoever can fight and win, can get the the leadership of the gang or the tribe. So this Daenerys Stormborn Targaryen, a very young girl, was married off to that tribe forcefully. And then there are multiple events happen. She realizes that if she has to change her fate, if she has to change the world, if she has to be happy, she has to do certain things. And while she learns, while she gangs up, while she take all the people of that tribe together, and while she march on towards her destiny, there are things that she does. So there are dynasty, there are kingdoms where slavery is still practiced. She goes there with her tribe, with her people, and she speak against the slavery. She says there should not be anyone who is enslaved. She says that everyone who has a bondage in their hand needs to be broken. All the bondages need to be broken. And she was famously called after that the breaker of chains. And from there on, she started building a bigger and bigger army. And the biggest dynasty, she wants to challenge and take the power from her. So there'll be one hand of the kings. He will be saying that you have a dream. I understand that, but the thing is that dream it's not a practical dream. Do you think you are the first one who is thinking who is going to stop the wheel? There are people who have tried it earlier, but they have failed. So Daenerys respond to her hand that I don't want to stop the wheel. I don't want to stop this wheel where one dynasty goes, another dynasty come, but the working class people, the common people, the mass remain as oppressed. I want to break the wheel. I want to smash the wheel. And I thought somehow what Marx and Lenin and many of us who believe in socialism, who believe in communism, we're dreaming together. Somehow my favorite character in that series were also giving the similar kind of vibe, was giving that similar kind of idea, though the series went on in a different direction and her whole character got vilified, etc. I'm not going to that debate, but I'm just I thought I'll share this one thought that came to me while I was reading it. And there are few aspects which I think of the Paris Commune which still remain relevant. There were 4 things that we have learned from the Paris Commune in the 72 days that it survived. The first was the disarming. So the police and the army were no more superior. They were the people who were deployed as a more responsible, as a more revocable group of people. And this whole idea of disarming, which they were able to do in 72 days, is still so relevant that we see when the Black Lives Matter, the whole protest happened against the racism, against the police killing, against the police brutality in America. This whole question of disarming of the police, the whole question of disarming of the army became so prominent, became so important. So when we look back to Paris Commune, when we look at the thing that we're trying to do, the kind of mechanism that they were trying to apply, and when you today see in 2020, 2019, and 2021, even during those all Black Lives Matter protests, we think that same arguments, that same demands, that same vision remain extremely important. And I think that is one thing which is important. The second thing I thought what also they could do on those 72 days is the secularization of the society, taking back the power from the church and making the society where it is not the religion or the clergy or the pope who is going to decide or who is going to control the state, but it is the people. It is people's will. It is the people's democratic wish and will, how they want to live their life. And when in India we talk about secularization of state or secularization of society, we have seen that from the time the Narendra Modi's government, the BJP has formed the government in India, the basic fabric of secular India has gone away. The kind of Hindutva fascism that this government, the BJP and the RSS together is trying to push upon us, the way they are trying to tear up this years of our harmonious relationship with different religion, with different culture and different norms. I think it is very important that we take our lesson from the Paris Commune, how they were successful in secularizing a society, how they are able to make sure that it's the people, it's people's demand, it's people's will, it's the collective, it's the mass, which is going to be the primary decision-making body, or who is going to have the ultimate power of how the state, of how the country is going to run. The third thing, Comrade Vijay Prasad has already had spoken about, the elective judiciary. this whole sacrosanct idea that judiciary is neutral, judiciary whatever judiciary does is a neutral thing. It is not biased, it is unbiased. But we have seen in case of India, if you look at the judges, if you look at the lawyers, if you look at the caste that they represent, if you look at the class that they represent, you will understand that it is not possible. I mean, individuals are by nature are subjective, and you cannot really believe that once they sit in a chair, they will leave all their subjectivity and they will give you objective judgment. And there have been multiple judgments that I've seen in India, which actually shows that the kind of judiciary that we are having now, without a reform, the law, the implementation of it cannot be unbiased. There will be always the ruling class, there will be always the people who are oppressed, and judiciary more or less would be helping the people who are already in the privileged position in the ruling class. And the fourth and most important thing that I think I have learned or understood from Paris Commune from the very beginning was talking about broadening democracy. As Marx wrote, that at first this whole idea, this whole exercise of Paris Commune started as a patriotic act, but it ended up as a more radical, as a more revolutionary, project. And I think that when we talk about democracy, particularly in Indian context, and there is a lot of halla hangama around nationalism, around patriotism as an idea, I think we need to ask this question as left activists. We need to make this question more and more pertinent, that what is our democracy? What is the need of a parliament? What is the need of a state if it does not belong to the people? If it does not work for the people? Even Marx also had this in his writing, he has said that even inside when the Paris Commune was happening, there was a sharp criticism of parliamentarism, how parliament is going to be used, whether it is going to be used for the people, whether it is going to be a collectivized exercise, or it is going to, like the previous time, is going to serve the ruling class, is going to serve the bourgeoisie. So I think today when we look at Paris Commune, we should take our lesson from all those 72 days on how they're able to ensure that the democracy reaches everyone, how they're able to it get to the people, and it's the people, it's the collective, it's the mass which get the ultimate power on how democracy, on how state, on how a parliament or a country or a society at large will be running. So I believe that was my take and my inspiration from Paris Commune. And just a small note, I think Comrade Vijay Prashad was only telling that this idea of commune was not only safeguarded within Paris. It went away. It went to different part of the country, and it influenced people. It created different commune in different parts. I have heard the story of commune from my grandfather. So during the 72s, when there was a semi-fascist attack happening on different communist parties in West Bengal, my grandfather was, he had to leave home for quite a year. And that time he was living in a commune which was built in a place where we are a bit more stronger than the rest of the places. And he was telling that how everybody is going to do everything. So people will be cooking together, people will be cleaning together, people will eat together, people will sleep together, people will learn together. I think this idea of togetherness, this idea of sharing responsibility, the idea of sharing labor, let it be a domestic labor or let it be intellectual labor, I think this still remain as the major essence of Paris Commune or any commune that has happened across the country, across the globe, across the world. So I believe our generation has to take that essence of collectivism, that essence of shared responsibility and shared labor to us, to our movements, to our activism. And I think that's the only way that we can live up to the glory, the hope, and the expectation of the Paris Commune.